Hello to everybody. We are Eduardo and Milan, and today in this podcast, we're going to talk about climate action and how species are affected by pollution. We have two themes because we didn't find a partner with the same one. So we hope you will enjoy and learn something with this podcast. Without further ado, we begin. Hello, it's Eduardo here, and one of my demographics was to interview an adult. So I interviewed my mom. It's very interesting to know her opinion about climate change because she grew up in another whole time and generation from all of us. Things were different back then. She doesn't know many things that are happening right now regarding climate change. So I asked her about very simple things regarding this topic. And my prediction was correct. She didn't know about many problems we have. But the positive thing about this that she's willing to do something positive to change this. I had to tell her to do something about our customs at home because they are pretty awful right now. She told me that she's willing to use less plastic, recycle more, use the car less, things like that. But for example, she doesn't have the mentality we have, the millennials, regarding global warming. I have to tell her to do this and do that. She doesn't do it by her own. We need to create awareness with adults and old people because it's very difficult that they will do it by themselves. Many adults don't know about all the problems we have regarding climate change, but I know they're willing to do something positive to help the earth. And now you will listen to Milan's demographics.
One of our demographics was a CEO, which statistics have shown that 90% of CEOs do not help the environment because it may affect their companies. I talked with Rafael, CEO and owner of Fabric, which name must remain classified for discretion. Questions were asked on what he has done to help the environment. Is he even concerned? Points of views as a businessman he is, and another as a human being, living on the same polluted earth as everyone else. At first, he was accepting that CEOs were especially fabric owners, including himself, are the ones to blame for all this mess. But the government is also responsible for this, since applying the environment regulations is too expensive, and the government is not helping the economically to accomplish these regulations, so he is not willing to lose utilities for it. Nevertheless, he tries to have the least number of wastes, but he hires a company to take care of those wastes, so responsibility for wastes is beyond their power. I then proceeded to ask him, as an individual, his opinion on the topic. He doesn't like pollution at all, but nor he likes animals. He believes we live in a world where we give more privilege to an animal than to our own species. For example, a person is more likely to give food and water to a street dog than to a homeless man. He also said that we are all responsible for pollution, and that if we want to help reduce it, we all have to play a part in it. As generations move forward, human beings are taking more action on pollution. We are recycling, making campaigns. This topic is being applied in schools, and back then they didn't have that education. So it was more likely for them to pollute. Fortunately, we're improving and will keep improving. I then asked him of his opinion on environmentalists, people who work to save the planet, but also take it to another level by protesting against big companies. He replied saying that environmentalists are great on what they do, but could hit better targets to make the world a better place. Instead of protesting, make consentment lessons to learn about it and try to work it out with the government. We ended up with his opinion on the future on the topic. He believes that the problem will get better and better for the fact that the education on pollution is being applied, and technological advances have also helped us to achieve progress on the pollution reduction. Hopefully, he will not be wrong, and we can reduce this problem. I then interviewed an environmentalist, someone dedicated to help protect animals, reduce pollution, and raise awareness on the topic. Alex is a student of Prepa Tech Santa Catarina and vice president of Tierra Joven, an environmental group of the high school. He believes we're all responsible for the pollution on this earth, that we are selfish and we do not care of other species' lives. To help solve the problem, he believes we should all reduce our daily wastes and people should be more sensitive toward animals, who are also living beings. He believes having a zero waste life is really difficult for each individual, but it is the effort that will make the difference. He is a vegan due to the animal cruelty that occurs to get the meat, so he doesn't tolerate any animal cruelty. He thinks CEOs are selfish to think of themselves instead of helping out the planet, and they are causing more damage than they are helping by selling their products. He is optimistic and thinks people will change. They'll be more aware of the problem and will end up helping out.
Well, and as a conclusion for our podcast, we hope you enjoy it, but we sincerely hope you learned something from it. We hope you learned something from the interviews we did and apply it to your daily life in order to help our planet with climate change, global warming, pollution, etc. Remember that if the earth dies, we die with it. Thank you very much.